What's going on, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for tuning in. So if you saw a previous video, you know Jason Canal from GQUE BQQ came all the way down to Texas from Colorado. We got to hook up, had a barbecue crawl, had some really great barbecue, and it was an awesome time. Jason, while he was here, gave me some of his rub. This is rub that he uses in competitions and he uses at his restaurant in Colorado. And I'm going to try this on some ribs. He says it gives an amazing color. If he's using it in competitions and for his restaurant, I have no doubt it tastes amazing. So we've got some ribs. We're going to try this rub out, simply called the rub. Plain and simple. We're going to use this on some ribs. This should be really good. Let's get started. All right, so here I've got 3 racks of ribs. I've got a spare rib here, spare rack of ribs, and then 2 baby backs here. And I am going to do a little trimming. There's some of this fat here that I want to take off, and then on the spare, you know, there's always this one end that has fat on here we want to take off. So we're going to do that, and I'm also going to remove the membrane from the back of each of these. You can leave it on if you like. I don't like to. I think it makes it just a little more chewier. You can also cross hatch it if you don't want to completely pull it off, but actually, let's turn it this way. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. And to do that, many of you know, but if you don't know, just take like a knife or the back end of a spoon or a fork or something and kind of get right under that skin there. You can see that. Right on the edge here. Just kind of pull that up a little bit. And take a napkin. It's just easier to grab with the napkin. And you should be able to pull it. Well, I was gonna say you should be able to pull it right off. Here you go. Pull that bad boy right off. And that's it. We'll do the same thing to the other 2. We're going to get them trimmed up, and I'll pick back up. All right, so I got the ribs trimmed up. I got the membrane removed. I'm just going to hit the backside with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just so the rub will stick. Now, I am going to do the baby backs with a different rub. Since I have another rub I'm trying out. And I'm going to use that on the baby back, so I'm going to use the Jason's rub on the spares. So, a little bit of olive oil. My first layer on anything is always salt and pepper. I put that on brisket, ribs, chicken, anything I'm cooking. Salt and pepper is also always my first layer. And it's a 2 to 1, 2 being the pepper. Not a ton. Cover that on there, on the back side. Just a nice little light coating of the salt and pepper. Then come back and rub down. The rub I'm actually using on the baby backs is this Victory Lane rub. It's actually really good. So we're going to try it on some baby backs and see how that turns out. I did take Jason's rub. We're going to let those sit aside and let them sit for a few minutes, and we'll flip them over. So I took Jason's rub, put it in a container, and that's what we're going to put on these spares. I tell you what, I tasted this rub right out of the jar. Man, it is really good. If it tastes on the ribs anything like it did right out of the jar, these are going to be some killer ribs. So we're gonna let these sit for about 15-20 minutes. Let that rub sit in, and then we'll flip them over to the other side. All right, those have been sitting for a while. A little bit of oil on the top. Again, just so the rub has something to stick to. You don't have to use a binder. Most of the times I don't, but I just felt like using one today, so. Come over with my salt and pepper mix. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, I'd appreciate you hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Next, we're going to come back with Jason's rub. Right over the top here. Give it a good coating. We're going to let these sit for about 20 minutes again. We want to let that rub start to sweat into the meat and kind of become part of the meat. You don't want to put it right on the pit just like this. Let that rub penetrate and get the seasonings into this meat. So that's it. This is what they look like for now. We can go mobile. This is what the ribs look like right now. Just rubbed them down. So we're gonna let them sit for, again, about 20-25 minutes or until that rub has sweated in, and then we'll get them on the smoker. All right, these ribs have sweated out. That's some nice color, I'm telling you. So we're gonna get them on the Weber. I'm using mesquite for the smoke. And we're gonna let these go for a couple hours. We'll spritz them after the first hour with apple juice and some baby backs. And we'll see how they turn out. But I'm really liking that color. All right, so the ribs are on. This is actually a tight fit, but we're gonna make it work. It is a really windy day, so the bottom vents, I have them opened a little bit less than half. And the top vent, that's a little bit less than half also. So the bottom vent's less than half, the top vent less than half, and that's because it's really windy out here, and I don't want that fire to kick up too much, especially with that rack right next to the flame. So I'm gonna have to watch that and make sure that that doesn't get out of hand, but I think we'll be all right. So we'll spritz it with apple juice, and we'll pick back up in a bit. All right, so the ribs have been going for an hour. That's what they look like. Spritz them with some apple juice, just to make sure we keep them moist. So, and I'm probably going to do this about every 15 minutes at this point. So that's what they look like. Not bad. All right, these ribs have been on for a few hours. I'm about to pull them off, but I wanted to show you what I've done here. Is I put some brown sugar, some honey, some butter, and some barbecue sauce. I'm going to take that rack of spare ribs. We're going to put it meat side down, and then we'll repeat this process on the back side. So this is what the ribs look like. They've been on for 12:30, almost 3 hours actually. That's what they're looking like. So we're gonna lay them down on this butter brown sugar mix and repeat the process. Wrap them up, put them back on, and we'll check them in about 45 minutes. All right, these ribs are done. They're ready. What I've done here is I've taken some of that brown sugar, honey, butter mixture and put in a little dish. I'm going to take some barbecue sauce and add that to this. And you can use whatever barbecue sauce you like. I'm running with some Head Country hickory barbecue sauce. So we're going to mix this up. I'm going to take this outside and we're going to baste these ribs and let them sit for about 10 minutes and bring them inside. All right, so here the ribs are done. You can see we got some really good pullback on these bones. So I'm going to take this sauce, just kind of apply it on these ribs. Dab it on here. We're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. We'll pull them off and give them a taste. They look really, really good. I'm really happy with the color. I think this rub, man, the color of the rub, I'm just really, really liking. So, great rub, Jason. So that's what they look like. Alright, so a plane, seriously, just flew right over me. Anyway, this is what they look like. Look at that. Nice color, beautiful color. We're gonna let them sit for about 10-15 minutes. We'll pull them off and we'll get to tasting. Alright, you guys, these ribs are done. This is what they look like. Got some nice pullback on these. So we're gonna let them sit for just a bit. I am gonna take some of this rub from Jason and just kind of sprinkle it on top, just to give it a little extra kick. That's what I usually do with my ribs anyway. Just a light coating right on top. We're gonna let them sit for a bit. Oh, I can already smell that rub. Smells good. So let them sit for a bit. We'll cut into them, and then the best part, we'll get to tasting. So that's what they look like. Ah, that's so good. All right, now comes the best part of the video, the taste test. So this is the finished product. Look at that. We have a beautiful smoke ring right along here. Smoke ring is on point. The color, we can make that out. The color is on point. That looks good to me. The aroma. I smell it because down here in competitions, that's one of the things they go on is aroma. So you got to make sure that it's, you know, it smells good also. That hits all the points. You get that smoke, that mesquite flavor. Get that pork flavor. This is going to be good. Look at that. Great pullback on that bone. Let's give it a try. This is the spare rib with Jason Ganal's rub from GQUE BQQ. I can't wait. Let's try it. Look at that. Perfect bite. Look at that. Wow. The rub is really, really good. This is a damn good rib. There's a little, I get a little heat. Not overpowering, but man, this is good. Look at that. Perfect bite. This rib was cooked just right. Golly, this is good. Jason, that is a, excuse me, a kick-ass rub. Honestly, dude, I think we're gonna have to talk because I'm gonna have to order some of this in bulk. Seriously, this is some good stuff. Beautiful rib, great tasting rib. Man, I'm gonna finish eating. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, please hit it. More importantly, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. Truly appreciate it. I'm gonna finish this bad boy. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.